This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the sci-fi horror The Thing. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
I think I said this in the last episode. I accidentally watched the wrong Thing.
Only the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, which Thing 2011 is a prequel to this one, so it was actually very interesting to kind of see the start of that one getting into this one. And it names a character who was not originally named in this movie.
Interesting.
Because the opening guy, we'll just get into it. We open on... I don't actually have my notes open, so I can't actually...
We open on an alien saucer flying through space towards Earth.
Yeah, that was wild. Don't remember that being the opening scene.
No, me either. And then it cuts to...
A helicopter. Going over...
Chasing after a dog.
Yes. His working name is Jed.
Oh, I love Jed.
He is a wolf Malamute hybrid.
He is a great looking dog.
He is a beautiful pup. So this is actually the character who gets named because of the first Thing 2011. This is Lars, is the pilot here. The Norwegian pilot. His name is Lars.
Okay.
So Lars is flying his copter chasing after a dog. And at first, like, as I was watching this, I was like, is he trying to shoot the dog? Because he's a really bad shot. Is he scaring the dog?
There's a dude hanging out the side, taking pop shots at the dog, like, as it's running through the snow. And we're out in, like, the Arctic.
Yes.
It is, like, snowy, nothing but white, and, like, some mountains way off in the distance.
So this dog is really easy to see.
Yeah.
And he cannot hit him. I was like, okay, maybe he's, like, just trying to scare the dog off. Like, maybe he just doesn't want the dog near everything. But nope, we follow him all the way to... What's the base camp called? It shows it at one point. Anyways, the U.S. base camp in the Antarctic. In Antarctica. The dog runs straight for, I believe it's Clark, but I didn't learn their names until much later, so I don't actually have it named.
Yeah, I was not good with their names, except for two.
I kept going between the movie, my notes, and the Wikipedia. Actually, not even the Wikipedia, the fan wiki, to figure out whose names they are. So I got names.
Good.
I got almost everyone's names.
Good shit, because I have them, but I won't be able to find some of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
So, dog runs straight into the U.S. base, where we see Kurt Russell as J.R. McReady, who comes out of his little shack. It's like one of those, like, high up...
RJ,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, my dyslexia. You are correct. RJ. He comes out of his, like, tower, like, where you kind of, like... The closest thing I can compare it to is, like, like, airplane... thing where you're like up high being able to look out and survey.
Yeah, like a comms tower.
Yeah, he's like up high in that. He comes out of that in just a long sleeve t-shirt in the middle. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, the rest of his team comes out because obviously they hear the copter, they hear the gunshots, like all that kind of stuff. Everyone comes out. The rest of his team comes out in fucking snow gear, and homie just walks out like, yes, this is fine.
I mean, to be fair, when we lived in when I lived up north, I was at some points, like, I was so used to the cold that I could just, like, do that for, like, 5 minutes, maybe, before I, like, needed to go in and put on a shirt. I mean, the man looked like he was in the comfort of his own home, but, like, just didn't want to get all of his shit on to, like, go out and check, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, like, how cold is it on the daily in Antarctica?
Very.
So I feel like even stepping out maximum temperatures by month, the coldest month is July with an average of negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, have you ever seen those dudes, like, go out and, like, pour water out in, like, Antarctica? Like, on the, like real life?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying is, like, homie even stepping out there for a second is gonna be fucking bone chill immediately.
Yeah.
And he stands out there for a few minutes watching everything before he gets geared back up.
There's a few things like that in this movie where you just gotta be like, it's from the 80s, it's okay.
A lot of my, like I was saying earlier, gripes, quote unquote, because I don't have a better word, are things that have to do with what they're wearing because it does not make sense.
Yeah, there's some things that I was like, you just have that lying around? But we'll get to that. No, so this dog runs up to the Clark, the group's out there, and this helicopter, well, actually, before it runs up to the group,
He starts
It's
throwing
like-
grenades.
Yeah, the guy in the helicopter starts pulling pins out of grenades and throwing them down. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, because again, he's a terrible shot too. This dog just seems like it's having a grand old time, running around doing whatever.
Yeah. It runs up to Clark, and then the helicopter
Lands.
circles around and then lands. And then both Norwegian guys get out and just start shouting in...
I think, is it not only, I think it's only one guy. It's only one guy that comes out.
It was two, but the one...
Oh, does he get blown up?
Yeah. So I don't even know what happens here. I guess he like accidentally pulls the pin in a grenade.
So what happens is he pulls the pin, he goes to throw it, and misses, or like it slips out of his hand and it falls next to the helicopter. And so he runs to go and grab it from where it is, and it fell deep into the snow, and so he can't grab it in time. And so blows up the freaking helicopter.
And him.
And
then the other dude runs up to the group and starts shouting, pointing a gun at them, and they're like, what the fuck?
And he's screaming in Norwegian, so they don't know what he's saying. And he starts shooting at the dog, who is now on Clark, and it's not Clark, I'm sorry. He runs up to George. George is the one. So he runs up to George. The guy shoots at the dog, but shoots George in the fucking knee, and he goes down without saying a single sound. He just hits the ground. It's fine. No one screams when they get shot at all.
Yeah.
And then the captain, Gary, busts out a window from inside the base and then just like shoots him with a handgun.
This is one of the famous, like, really terrible glass breaking scenes. Like, you see this in compilations of like terrible glass breaking scenes in movies.
It's bad.
It's Captain Gary like taking his revolver and just kind of like waving his hand into the window, like trying to knock the glass out, but it like doesn't knock any of it out almost. It's fucking funny, but he starts taking pot shots. He takes a shot and fucking hits the Norwegian right in the head. Right, and then the dude just drops. And they're all like, what the fuck?
Mac, as they usually just call him, or Steve Russell, is just like, it's just first week of fucking winter.
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell?
You said Steve Russell.
Did I say Steve? Oh my god. Steve Russell.
Steve Carell in The Thing.
Yeah, Mac.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Why are you sorry?
Do they call him Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because McCready.
They call him Mac.
Okay.
Because at first I thought they were calling someone else Mac. And it's just like, no, they call him Mac.
I see.
Because that was the other hard thing is like some people, like the doc, his name is Copper.
Yeah.
But they mostly just call him Doc, and then they call him Mac. And when I was doing my notes, I called him RJ until I realized what they called him.
Yeah.
So it took me a second. Anyways, Jed's okay. Lovely, the dog.
Yeah.
He's good. They take him in. They take George in to get his legs stitched up by Doc or Copper. It cuts to their radio guy, Windows. The names in this.
Yeah.
His name is Windows.
Yeah.
But he can't get a signal, and he says he hasn't been able to get a signal for 2 weeks.
Yeah, like he's like shouting. He's like, I can't get no signal. Like, what do you expect from me?
Like, I can do everything you want. Doesn't mean I'm
no
gonna
one's
get a
coming for
signal.
us. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
But everyone's just like, well, he's like, you gotta keep trying. Like,
what else are you gonna do? Just keep fucking trying. Then it cuts to Knowles roller skating through the halls. Mm-hmm. And it was very interesting just because he roller skates a lot throughout the base. And I'm like, you know what? At least he's keeping his whimsy. And I think he's the youngest on the crew, which also makes sense.
He is.
So he's also the chef. It looks like he like takes care of the kitchen and does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He roller skates into the like doctor office morgue kind of physician's area.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe we're just at war with Norway. Who knows? Like,
yeah.
But
they're like trying to make heads or tails of the situation because they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so in the doctor's office, we have Palmer, who is the stoner, Copper, who is the doc, Gary, Captain, and Bennings, who is... I don't really know what Bennings does. I forgot to look up what he does. And then Fuchs. And Fuchs is he's like an assistant, or he kind of does doctor-y microbiology stuff. And they're all there talking about, like, how long have the Norwegians been there? And they've only been there for 8 weeks. And, Captain's like, that's not long enough for them to go crazy. And Palmer's like, that's fucking long enough. Not Palmer. Knowles. Thank you. It's spelled Naul.
I think it's Knowles.
Null. He's like, have you seen these fuckers? Like 5 minutes out here, it's enough for someone to go crazy. And he's just like, oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
And they talk about like they had 18 people in their party, so there's at least 2 more. But they talk about how, hey, if this man's going crazy chasing a dog, he might have killed their entire group. So the doc wants to go check on them because they're the closest people.
Yeah.
They're the only people who knows what's going
They're
on.
like, we gotta go see what's going on with those fucking Norwegians.
Bennings is like, the wind should be letting up here pretty soon because it's windy as fuck and it's overcast, I guess is the best way to say it. It's like blowing snow around where visibility is kind of low.
Yeah.
They go out and Mac and 2 other guys are looking through the wreckage of the helicopter and find 15 cans of kerosene.
Yeah.
Which, why didn't that thing blow up more? How did they find 15 full cans? Because he pulls out a full can.
No, I know. I don't get it either.
Probably just one of those things that this movie was in the 80s.
It's there were a few oversights in 2005's The Descent. There are a lot more oversights in 1982 The Thing. But I mean, it's just people didn't know or care or think about it back then. Like, for all people knew, like, that you could wear a fucking long sleeve outside in Antarctica.
Well, and then like what we see, they traded Mac's I'm prepared for the weather for coolness, because all of his outfits are just cool. He's got like a thick bomber jacket on instead of like a nice winter coat type deal.
I love it though.
And then they tell him like, we're gonna go fly up, and so he's getting his gear ready and comes back to the copter, and instead of having a beanie or something, he's got a fucking cowboy hat.
Yeah, bro. I love McCready. He's the fucking coolest. He's got like the pilot jacket kind of thing, you know, but like the back then, so it's got like the fuzz and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like the I don't know what
they're called bomber jackets.
Yeah.
They're like the leather bomber jackets that have the fur here, like lambskin usually.
Yeah.
Like that. They're
like thick.
Yeah, it's super thick and comfy. I had one when I was a lot younger until I wore that thing till it was destroyed. It was so nice in winter.
Oh, I bet.
I just don't know if it'd be nice enough for Antarctica weather.
McCready's too cool to even worry about that.
Oh yeah, his coolness out, like he's cooler than the Antarctica. He doesn't need it.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
At this point, we get a few cuts of them flying up in the copter and going towards the Norwegian camp, where Knowles is blasting his music and people are yelling at him because it's the middle of the damn night and everyone's trying to sleep, to our boy Jed, the dog.
He's laying under the pool table, just hanging out, watching while, like, what's his name?
Not right now, actually. He's walking around base camp, and then he's looking into each room until he sees an open door where that silhouette is of some guy.
Oh, yeah, he was hanging out under the pool table while everyone was, like, arguing out at the helicopter, and then, like, they left, and then he started wandering through.
Oh, because there's another scene of him lying under the pool table, so I thought you were talking about that one, my bad.
I think it's just the one where because it's like he's just like waiting for, like, he hears the helicopter leave essentially.
Yeah, but there's the other scene of him lying under the copter is when Copper makes Clark go put him in the pin. He's hanging out in the rec room with them. Yeah. Which isn't now. He gets put in the pin later.
So they just put...
The dog is wandering around right now.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I remember him distinctly laying under that pool table as McCready and them were leaving.
He might have been. I was just like, when you said that, I thought you were talking about the other scene where he gets put in the pin.
No, I know. No, I get that is later. Like, they have to go through the whole Norwegian camp and stuff.
Yeah. So either way,
I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah.
He's wandering around. He finds one of the guys who is by himself, and goes and hangs out with him.
You see the dude's shadow turn around after Jed walks into the room. Mm-hmm. And then it fades out to black, and then it fades back to the guys landing at the Norwegian camp, right?
Yeah, they have the scene of them flying over, and you look over, and
it's all burnt.
Yeah, the big base camp is still like smoking, but everything else is burnt to a crisp. Like, there's nothing.
It's all burnt to the ground. Like, it's just disheveled and
yeah, something bad happened here, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. They land and go in, and everything is disheveled. Like, not only has it been burned, it looks like something forced its way in or out of here. There are walls that are busted down, and like obviously busted down. Yeah,
because there's like frost has covered a lot of stuff on the inside of the building, because like there's just giant holes in some of the walls, so like they can't even take their gear off when they go inside because it's not even technically fully enclosed.
Yeah, and then they bust through a door.
They find a door they find a door that has an axe in it. Yeah, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And there's blood on the axe, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they bust through that door.
there was a bunch of shit barricading it closed.
Yeah.
And as they go in, they're like looking around, and Mac looks around and he's like, "Oh, a portable video unit." And that just like,
oh yeah,
that got to me, because it's just like, that's such an 1982's thing to say. They also find a bunch of paperwork, and Mac is like, "Is this useful?"
Yeah.
Doc's like, "I don't know, it's in Norwegian."
Yeah, but then the doc ends up like taking a bunch of the papers, and McCready's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "This is probably important shit. Like, I want to see what they were up to."
Yeah, like they were also researching stuff up here. Like, no one goes to Antarctica to do nothing.
Yeah, like, yeah.
So as McCready keeps going through this room and exploring, Doc looks over and he sees a blood trail, and he leads over to a man who's sitting in a chair covered in fucking ice with his arms lying by his side.
He walks over to the body, and yeah, you get a view of like this frozen body with his neck clearly like severed, not fully halfway, but almost halfway.
Was it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought he slit his wrists.
No. Yes, he did that, but his neck was also like opened.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So to be clear, I watched the VHS version of this, and so it was not very clear when I watched it.
It first pans down, and you see his wrists hanging there, and you see frozen drops of blood.
Sickles.
Yeah, blood sickles hanging down from his wrists, and you're like, oh fuck.
And he has a razor in his hand.
But then it pans up, and there's a fucking, just like a chunk well, not a chunk even taken out of its neck. It's like something sliced his neck, and it like just opened up and is like hanging a little bit.
That. The dude's dead and fucked up.
Dead and fucked up. I don't even remember what they say about him, but
I don't either. Like
it's just like, I don't even know if they did say anything. I think they just like examine it, and then it cuts back to like the next scene.
They say something about it, and I can't remember what it was. Again, we don't usually examine dialogue too much. In this movie's dialogue is not great. But they have to say something, because then Mac says, "I'm just going to continue looking around," or something, because he goes into another room.
That's right. They do keep looking.
Yeah. Or he's like, "I'll clear the last two rooms," or something like that. And they find a giant ice block that used to have something inside of it.
Yeah, it's a giant ice block, but the middle is like hollowed out. Like it was it was thawed out or something, like something,
broke out, or not even broke out.
Even
there's
broke
not even
out.
like ice everywhere.
It's just like they thawed it out.
If they like chiseled out the innards of it, because there's still the shape of the cube. It's just everything on the inside is gone.
It's like a giant ice tub.
Yeah,
but it's not a tub shape. It's just a giant like ice rectangle that
has nothing on the inside anymore.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Basic, yeah.
80s effects for you.
It's good effects, honestly, like, because when you look around the room, you're like, yeah, they're in fucking Antarctica. This place is covered in frost and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah, no.
It's a really cool scene.
And like I was saying with accidentally watching the wrong thing, I haven't seen the 2011 thing. Mm-hmm. And so when I started it, watched the first 30 minutes, and we get up to the scene, and 2011 one is a prequel to this movie, so I get to see this room. I got to see this room in 2011 tech, and they try to keep that same kind of ice structure as much as they possibly can, obviously with new tech, but like I was like, why are they doing that so poorly? And it's because it matches, they tried to like almost one for one it for the 80s, which I thought was super cool.
That's sick. Yeah, they discover that, and then as they're going back to the helicopter, they see this like mass grave of like burned, but it's not even a mass grave.
It's like a mass.
It's a mass
of a thing.
It's a grave of a mass.
Yes, and it's also like smoking and smoldering a little bit, and they're like
black and charred.
Someone is like, one of them says, "Is that a human?" And they're like, "What is that?" And they end up taking it back.
They take this thing back. They end up unloading it off the helicopter and putting it. Someone asks the doc to do an examination of it like right away.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's Gary or Blair gets asked to do it, because Blair is their microbiologist.
Yes.
So he gets asked to do it right away. They take this thing straight into the hospital area, their little physician area, and without any masks, they open this fucker up, and things smelling like burnt flesh. Wear a damn fucking mask. Two, you don't know what the hell it is. You don't know what parasites are in there. You don't know what shit is. You need to be wearing a damn mask.
But it's also not just like, it's like, it's smoking as if it's like just hot to the touch still.
Yeah.
Like as they have it on the table, it's like still smoking immensely, but it's still like they keep giving shots of this like fused, like fucked up face that's like half morphed together.
Yeah, it's like two separate faces that got morphed together that are trying to like get shoved into one face, but it's not quite there.
Yeah, and they're both like actively feeling it, so they're screaming like it's a fucked up, creepy face.
Yeah.
They cut into it and they're like digging through it, like Blair's digging through it, and he's like, it's got a heart, it's got a liver, it's got
all of the normal organs,
like all normal human organs. Like, I don't fucking know.
As like they go down into the body side, you can see two human hands, but you also see like two insect like legs. I don't know what those are, like, not pincers, but like
Just like
the
appendages.
yeah, you know what insect, like praying mantis little arms without the little blades on them. Like they're just like, it's weird. It's very insecty.
Yeah.
This is the one times when I wish we had video, when I do like weird things like that, trying to explain things.
Yeah, 100%. We'll definitely get there.
And as this is happening, we're getting shots of Jed wandering around. And it's like, why are we watching this random ass dog just wandering around? It's very, in my notes I have it, never a good sign.
Yeah. They end up going to like examine some of the like tapes that they found.
They have Copper do an autopsy on the Norwegian.
To
make sure
that's
he's
right.
okay. And he's like,
there's
no blood.
No drugs, no alcohol.
Yeah.
Like he
should have been fine.
He should have been fine, you know. So they're like, I have no idea why he was losing his fucking mind when he arrived.
Then they go look at the VHS
Then they
tapes.
go, yeah.
And they have like a makeshift bar in this place. There's like a pool table and like a bar area. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that fine.
Yeah.
It's just like,
you gotta have some normalcy when you're trapped up there.
That's fair. And Palmer's just like sitting there smoking a joint.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, bro. Trust me.
Oh,
I get it.
I'm sorry. We're not skipping. I think we're combining a bunch of scenes, actually.
Are we?
Yeah, so Blair does the autopsy. It cuts to Palmer and Child sharing a room. Palmer smoking a joint and switching through VHS tapes, but they're not the Norwegian VHS tapes. So they flip from like The Price is Right to some other VHS, and the rest of the crew is in the bar. And this is where the scene with Jed happens, where he's lying there and spooks, what's his name? Bennings. He spooks Bennings by walking under the table. Bennings makes Clark go put him with the other dogs, and Jed does like not want to go in there. And when he does, he just lies in the center of the kennel, staring directly at a wall.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Which makes a lot more sense because in the 2011 one, I'm pretty sure the dog is just like some guy's pet, and in this one they're sled dogs because they're in the Antarctic.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but like so they get put in the dog sled shed, like pen, the kennel.
Yeah, and then he, what's his name?
Clark?
Clark turns the light off and walks out, and then, oh God.
All of the dogs start barking at Jed, and they're like growling and barking, and then his head splits open into a creepy ass alien thing with tentacles all waving around.
And then his fucking like nose just like falls off, like the skull just like falls off of it, and it's just this like sort of like Demogorgon-esque opening of like just this like weird monster, and then it just devolves. It like cut to the same scene, just like it devolving more, and like because it was the 80s, right? It's not like they could have actively like, I mean, they did good with what they had. Like the special effects in this movie were insane for the times.
Oh yeah, and it's like the puppet type stuff of like where you can see it like moving and it's not CGI, where it's just like, you know, the puppetry or the robotics of it. Yeah. And it's slowly...
It fucking explodes into this, like, tentacle thing.
It is slowly, like, spewing grossness at certain dogs and, like, wrapping its tentacles around other ones.
I don't like this scene.
No, I don't either. But they call it the kennel thing.
I hate it.
So it's the
I don't
kennel
like the
thing.
kennel thing because it just terrorizes all these other dogs, spits all over them. They're, like, growling and freaking out. Of course, God damn it, Clark. he runs in because he's like, what the fuck? Like he seems like he's the one closest to.
He's the dog handler.
Yeah, he's the dog handler. So he goes in and he like freaks out and is like, oh my God, like goes and fucking grabs everyone
The lights
else.
don't turn on either.
Oh yeah, that's right. The lights don't turn on either.
He opens the kennel and one or two dogs, I couldn't tell because the mash cut was
Oh,
really
that's
weird.
right. Yeah. A dog like jumps on him and then like fucking bolts away. And then another one jumps out and bolts the opposite direction. He looks inside and sees this fucking monstrosity.
The kennel thing. And Mac hears the dogs barking and all of the weird sounds and instantly pulls the fire alarm.
Yeah.
Which is weird because that wouldn't be my first instinct to pull the fire alarm when the dogs are freaking out.
Honestly, I think if you were in the Antarctic with pretty much no one else around except, you know, your guys, what does your dog bark? Like, why does your dog have a reason to bark? You know what I mean? Unless there's like, and it may not even... My other thing about this too, because I thought about it, is like, because it struck me as weird at first too, but then I was like, well, if you're in a situation like this, that, especially in the 80s, they only had one type of alarm system, the fire alarm. So like, in order to maybe get everyone's attention and like fucking get everyone on their toes ready to go, that's like the only way.
That's fair.
That's the only thing that I could think of.
No, I could see that.
But anyways, yeah, McCready pulls the fire alarm and gets everyone fucking riled. They're all like jumping up trying to put pants on, and they're like,
what the fuck's going on?
Someone runs in and is like,
Mac orders Childs to go get the flamethrower.
Yeah.
The crew then circles around the kennel thing while it's kind of taking the shape of a dog again.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's like its tentacles have been like absorbing the other dogs. Thank God that they look like puppets, because if they looked more like dogs, I think I'd have a harder time.
Yeah.
Because they're like, at this point, the fucked up dogs are just like all covered in goop and like it's gross and like
they've got tentacles wrapped around them and they're just whimpering and it's such a hard scene.
Yeah.
We're not very good with animal things.
Then this thing fucking reaches two hands out from the top of it and like grabs the ceiling and like pulls itself up, and they open the door and Childs goes in with the flamethrower and fucking torches it.
He like hesitates for a second where he almost gets like the thing whips its weird ball head thing. Like if you think of a Bulbasaur and its little flower thing on the back, it whips that thing towards Childs and like opens up and is about to go for him, and Childs finally like kicks into action and fucking torches the thing.
Yeah.
And it like, we talked about the weird like sounds of the crawlers in The Descent. This thing also has weird fucking noises.
Oh yeah, because it's like, it is a screeching at some moments, but then it's also like I don't know, like the only way I can describe the sound is like a hellish witch's brew of like bubbly, like,
yeah, I was gonna say like squelching, so like that makes like the bubbling, like it's a really gross sound that you don't think you'd hear from something that's sentient and like mobile.
It's fucking gross.
They have Blair do a autopsy on the kennel thing, where he kind of just breaks off its weird insect-like leg. He just like snaps it.
Yeah,
and it looks like he's like breaking open a crab leg. It was really weird.
Yeah, it is very weird because it is like it is
snaps it off at the joint.
Yeah. Ugh.
He then gets like some scissors and like kind of cracks into like the more belly part of it. Mm-hmm. Rips it open. On the inside there is, I don't know what this is.
It is the start of what would have been, at the finishing of its transformation, a normal looking dog. Think of an amalgamation of meat trying to transform into a dog, but stopping that process very early on.
Because I could not, this like the shape it takes for me is so weird that like my brain was like, I can't even function what that looks like. It's a very
contorted like half face where you can like see the nose, and then like some of the teeth are like kind of sticking out, but they're like really sharp and they're not exactly dog teeth yet. It is a fucked up, like this thing started to transform into a dog and did not finish this transformation. And it's just like stuck in that freeze frame of like that disgusting part of the transformation.
Yeah, and I think at this point Blair mentioned something of it like trying to imitate other things.
Yes.
They don't get too deep into it right now, but he talks about like this I almost said orgasm. This organism is something that can imitate other living things.
Yeah, he says that he's like, if we didn't catch it in time, it would have probably just looked like
any other
and
dog.
acted like the other dogs.
They end up finding the other surviving dogs and they drug them, putting them back in the kennel, and Clark is not having a good day with this. He's like petting them and just like looks extremely sad.
It's tough.
Blair corners Clark, not corners. Blair is the one giving the shots to the dogs, and he asks Clark, he's like, how long were you alone with the dog?
Yeah,
like,
he kind of looks at him and he's like, so where was the dog? Or like he asked some sort of question like that, and Clark's like, oh, like he was running around outside and then like I put him in last night. And he's like, so you're telling me the dog was around, or like, yeah,
he's been out by him, he's been free roaming this entire time.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, why? And Blair doesn't go into it anymore.
Blair's just kind of like, he just looks at him and then it fades to black,
and we get Mac, Gary, Copper, and Fuchs. F-U-C-H.
I just kept calling in my head. I was just like, it's Fuchs.
That every time I typed it.
Fuchs.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, Fuchs, but
these names, man, who the fuck picked these last names? Fuchs. This is where they're watching their Norwegian tapes. Fuchs is like, what the fuck are we gonna learn from this shit? They're like, I don't know, maybe nothing. But they watch it. It's their exploration tape of like getting to this location, blowing up snow because there's something underneath it, and they're like, they found something. Like, what the fuck did they find?
You get this shot of all of these people standing in a really wide circle around this like thing
with large flags, like kind of flagging off the area.
And then you see footage of like this giant explosion in the ice. Yeah. And so they end up trying to pinpoint like where that site would be.
I think Norris, he's the one with all of the papers. I think he might be able to read Norwegian or can just decipher the coordinates, because they do decipher the coordinates from, I mean, it's numbers. Like they use the same number system we do.
Yeah.
He's reading the papers and he says the coordinates, and Mac is like, we're fucking going now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going.
He's like, I don't care if the wind is awful. I'm going right fucking now.
Yeah. Which, like, for me, this is also one of those things where I'm like, you have a captain here who should be in charge of everything, Mac. What the fuck are you doing? Like, Mac just kind of starts doing his own thing and kind of leading off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have someone in charge. You're a pilot. You're nothing.
Yeah.
Like, in the grand scheme of who's high up on this base, and, like, to be fair, you are the pilot. You are the person who gets everyone off or here. But, like, in the grand scheme of rank, what are you doing?
I don't know. I mean, we do see him keep a level head, whereas even, like, the higher ups start to lose it at some points. Yeah. So I think it's more of just like, while yes, he wasn't inherently the leader, like those qualities come out in a time of crisis, and they may not come out from like the person who is always in the leadership position. Because I know I've definitely worked for and met people who did not deserve to be in a leadership role.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know, who's to say? But yeah, McCready's just like, yeah, we're gonna fucking go check this out. So it's him and
Norris and a third person, and I don't know who the third person is. I couldn't make it out.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you.
It's really, you want to talk about needing people to have different accents to tell them apart? You should have fucking done that with this movie. Because, man, when y'all are all decked out in your winter gear, I can't tell who's who. Yeah. And y'all got like facial hair and the same haircut.
The only person that I could distinctly tell was who is Childs, because he is the voice actor for Commander Zavala from Destiny.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I will always recognize that voice, like, immediately. Even in his young age, it's like, that's just how he fucking sounds.
I could pick out Clark because of his big beard, and just he's like, I think he's the tallest.
When he's got those like the dude from the newest Jurassic Park, the sexy little glasses.
He does, yes. Slutty little glasses.
Yeah, the slutty little glasses.
And no, Clark doesn't have the glasses.
No,
Fuchs does. Fuchs.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Fuchs has glasses.
Oh, names.
Yeah, Fuchs has the slutty little glasses. Clark is a redhead and is I think he's the tallest, so he's kind of easy to pick out with his beard and stuff, because I feel like it always sticks out.
Is Clark a redhead?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Anyways,
It's been a long day.
they come up on the site, and it's a ship.
It's a
Like, fucking alien ship.
It's a busted up top of the saucer that we saw at the opening scene.
Yep.
And you're like, oh shit. Well, I mean that makes sense, but it's fucking huge. Like,
it's so big.
They have to drop ropes into the crater to get down onto this thing, and that was like a 50-foot drop, dude.
It was
like,
a decent drop,
hefty.
man.
And so like this ship is like decent sized, like
And
not
then-
small.
No, it's gigantic, and then the middle hatch is already open too.
It's like, but it's like blown open because the fucking Norwegians
Yeah,
blew it up essentially.
Yeah.
But then they go out maybe like a quarter of a mile away from the ship and like the crater, and they see
The perfect
rectangle of ice carved out. And you just get this like swell of dramatic music, and you're like, "Ooh, here we go."
There is a thing here where like the ice. One of the people they're with, I don't know if it's Norris or the other person, is like, I would guess due to this structure that it's been here for 100,000 years. And I was like, "What, bro? How do you know that?"
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't. It wasn't even the like ship itself. It was like the ice. I think
He said something about the ice, but I was like, how do you know that just from looking at it? Because I feel like you don't usually do like core samples or stuff.
I think it would just be a matter of. I think it'd be a matter of like how many feet in depth, which he would probably make a very rough estimate depending on like how far down he goes. I mean, he could have like, this is obviously a stretch, but in my mind, that type of person, as he's rappelling down, he's counting his feet to see how deep it is, so that he can make that connection in his head. Like, how old could this be, with like how deep in the ice it is?
Yeah,
or whatever.
I mean, it's a rough guess. It was just one of those things where I'm like, that was out of the blue, scientist man. But I guess this is your specialty.
I mean, they're also like the least scientific looking group ever, because. Yeah. I mean, the only thing research and science about their whole operation is like how the buildings look. Everything else is like they have like just fucking giant metal drums of, I don't fucking know, laying around.
Stuff.
Yeah, flammable shit. And like we'll get to it later, but I'm just going to say it now. Explosives. Like a lot of explosives. So I don't fucking know.
They're doing some kind of research, but like they never specify what kind of research they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess I just take for granted that we have like rotating scientists who go out into the Antarctic and like do shit there, because I know that's a thing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know. What
I do also think though that like there was in the age of exploration back then. There was a lot less thought going into the damage to the environment.
Yeah.
So what happened? People just blew shit up. That's how we got a lot of caves. That's how we, dug into some of the underground mines that we fucking Until Dawn type shit, like.
Yeah. I don't know. Undescript scientists.
But they're very smart. Like, these guys definitely have their degrees, because they wouldn't understand some of this shit. Although the computer that fucking Blair uses, oh my god. So when we get to the part where Blair's doing his computations, it's just
I'm
great.
Here for it. Perfect. So back at home base, Mac explains to the rest of the crew that the crash happened thousands of years ago, and that the thing that was in it like probably crawled out, whether it be injured or it was looking for warmth. Like he was surprised that you would leave the comfort of your own ship to go somewhere warm. And one of the guys with him was like, if you're injured, if your ship's broken, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna explore and try to fucking save yourself. Mm-hmm. Childs calls it voodoo bullshit. Bro, what do you mean voodoo bullshit? What about this is voodoo?
Yeah.
He says it twice, too, and I was like, did it not hit good the first time? You have to repeat it?
Yeah.
Because, bro, you're wrong nail. This is not where We're going it all.
Yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree, homie.
Palmer, our resident stoner, is all about the aliens, and it's like, man, they're falling out of the sky.
Yeah,
they're
bro, haven't you
everywhere.
heard?
Where do you think the Incas learned all their stuff from?
Oh, God. Yeah, it's great.
Nulls busts in saying, don't throw your gross ass underwear in my trash can, because that's all really Nulls does, is he like comes in at weird times, says a few lines, and fucking dips.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he comes in the middle of them talking to Mac. Gary and, is it Copper or one of the scientists, maybe Blair, are like cornering Mac, and they're like, what was it? What is it? And he's like, I don't fucking know. Like, it is what it is. I'm telling you what I saw. Like, what the fuck do you want from me?
Yeah.
And Nulls just, busts in, and he throws down some Long Johns on the table, and is like, messing up my kitchen? How dare you? And like, rolls away on his little skates.
It's that, okay, that scene makes sense to me now.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, because I think that's why my brain just forgot about it at first, because I was like, that's okay.
It's like a throwaway scene, but it does come back later.
But it's not a throwaway scene.
It's not. It just feels like it. It feels
Yeah.
really weirdly timed, and it does come back later. It does make sense.
Yeah, hold on to that, dear listeners.
Gary is like, I don't believe what the fuck you're saying. Childs asks, how did the thing wake up? And how did this thing wake up if it was frozen in ice? What the fuck happened? How the hell can it look like a dog? Mac is like, ask our scientist. Go fucking ask Blair. How the hell am I supposed to know? I'm a pilot, man.
Yeah.
This is where Blair is running all of his computer simulations.
Yeah, so Blair's sitting at his computer, and like, you can tell this was the 80s before they really had like computers, because he's sitting there, like, it's running this program where you see these blobs like moving around on the screen.
It made me think of like Space Invaders or like Galaga, of just like these blobs of things. Like...
Yeah, or like, yeah, you essentially just watch these blobs. Like, he's supposed to be running a probability simulator of like how this thing would take over something and then like replicate, or like, you know, how it would go about things.
I think in the program it's assimilation. It talks about like how long it takes to assimilate, and then like what's full assimilation.
Yes, because full assimilation means that it has taken over like the entirety of the planet at that point.
It's the entirety of the organism. So he's running singular. The first test he runs is how long does it take to assimilate to one thing.
Yes,
and so it's running for this one specifically. I think he's running the dog one. Of like how long it takes to take over that, and then the computer tells him it's a 75% chance that at least one team member is infected by the thing.
Yeah, it's so funny because again, like the computer, it's just words that pop up saying the probability of one of your crewmates being one of these things is, and then in the middle of the screen it says 75%, and it's just so like.
It's a text-based game is what it feels like, as it just like types up on the screen.
1,000%, like Oregon Trail type shit.
Yes.
But like even more basic. I don't know. It's just funny to me.
Because
that's what they thought it was going to be like. That's
Yeah.
what they thought the internet was, then how it was like
computer
computers were going to
simulations
do.
were going to, because
Now we ask AI to fucking make videos of Jake Paul doing fucking makeup tutorials.
Jesus.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That's a bad segue. We do not need to go into that tangent.
The fucking AI shit.
Sorry.
82. What did they have in? I'm trying to think. So 1982 in January, the Commodore 64 was released.
Jesus.
Or was at least shown in a show in Vegas. So that's wild. So yeah, they were probably running a Commodore right there.
That's so funny, dude. Honestly, it makes sense too. Like it works.
Yeah. He then runs a second simulation for the projection of the world. If this thing got to civilization, how long would it take to take over the world? It says it'll take 27,000 hours to take over the entire world, which is a little over 3 years.
That's not that long.
No, when you think about it, like this spreads really fast. It's just, it is, and especially because it can just hide among us.
Among Us. Well, we'll get to that one too.
We'll also get to Among Us in this
Holy
episode.
shit.
This episode has it all.
You can go on to, you don't have to do this, but you can go on to, I think it's just soundboard.com and find the Among Us like mysteries or like starting sound. You could definitely just insert that in the episode somewhere, like whenever we say Among Us. Oh my god.
Oh, I love it. I might have to. He then reaches into
Sorry, another tangent.
he reaches into his desk drawer and pulls out his revolver, and you're like, oh fuck, is he gonna go kill everyone?
Yeah. Then it cuts to
Mac is drinking straight from a bottle,
yes,
fussing with the weird clothing that Nulls threw at him. He's just like looking at it, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're being weird. You're fondling another man's like long johns.
I thought that too, but it didn't connect to me at first that it was those same long johns. Mm-hmm. So I was like, whose panties are he sniffing? Like what? Like, are we suddenly introducing a previous love interest? Oh no, never mind. Those are long johns. You know, like I was just so, oh god.
No, it was a weird scene, especially for you if you didn't catch the first time when Nulls threw it down. Like that's gonna be even weirder for you. We then get Windows and because that's it. That's all we get. Like this movie is really
so like they're all sitting around and there's a bit of tension in the air, right? Like it kind of seems like everyone's sitting around just kind of waiting to see, like, because no one quite knows what the fuck is going on still.
Yeah.
And while they think they killed it one time, it like, you know, it's just...
It's weird. The tension is weird. You could just learn aliens are fucking real. Or if it's not aliens, what the fuck is it? Like, especially, like, hard military scientist men, like, you're not going to just believe something out of the blue. Like, you want to study that shit. The thing with, I think wow, words. The thing I think I like the least about this movie is the way they transition from scene to scene and how some scenes feel so disconnected from where we were. It did not do a good job of like a cohesive storyline of building everything together. Because like from this scene of Mac drinking, it instantly cuts to Windows and Bennings having to lock up the kennel thing.
Yeah,
and I think someone tells him, hey, come get your shit. Like we got to lock him up in the storeroom. And so they tried, but it just felt like very half-assed how they were trying to like link these scenes together.
Yeah. Bennings tells Windows...
He tells Windows to go get the key because he didn't have them. So they got to lock the Norwegian thing. And
yes, that's right. They have the Norwegian thing like under a blanket in the corner of the room.
Yes, and then they're gonna bring in the kennel thing as well, and they gotta lock them up. Windows looks at the Norwegian thing, and is like, this fucking thing, like, what the hell do you think it is? Covers it back up, and as soon as he covers it back up, it moves a little.
Yeah,
and Windows doesn't catch it.
Move.
And Windows leaves to get the key, so Bennings in there by himself, and then one of the arm things or tentacle things like falls from the table and like starts moving, and you're just like, oh, Bennings is about to fucking die or get assimilated. Mm-hmm. Fuchs takes Mac outside.
That's right. He goes up to Mac and is like, oh, it was Mac who was had to go get the stuff from the storeroom.
Yeah.
And he was there with Bennings and Windows.
Yeah, right before Windows left, yep.
And then Fuchs pulls McCready and is like, hey, can I speak to you outside privately? And he's like, outside? It's
cold, man.
It's cold as shit. And he's like I can't remember the word he uses, but like in the tractor or whatever.
Yeah, the tractor or the truck or whatever. And he's like, come on, I need to talk to you about Blair. And so he pulls him out into the truck. He's like, dude, I fucking stole one of Blair's notebook. Homie is saying those things aren't dead. Like, the cells were still moving even after they were burned.
Yeah.
He says some other stuff. He's like, I think he says, like, Blair's losing it or something like that, too. Like, he's worried about Blair.
It was that Blair was sketched out about, wow, I can never remember his name. The dog. Clark, yes. I want to say Chad. It's not Chad. It's Clark. Fuck's sake.
That's right. He also mentions like he's got some weird suspicions about Clark.
Yeah.
Max says, "All right, like we'll figure it out, whatever."
But like keep reading, like keep seeing what you can find.
Yeah. Windows comes back to get Bennings and like has the keys and stuff and finds the thing up and moving in a. I kept saying absolving instead of absorbing. Absorbing Bennings.
Yeah, like holding him in the corner of the room.
Yeah, wrapped up in the tentacle thing. Which, like, I say tentacles, but they don't look like tentacles. They're like if a tongue was a straw.
Yes, I know what you mean.
That's, like, exactly what it... Because, like, tentacles implies, like...
It's like the Sarlacc pit's tentacles from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like those, like very fleshy, like almost like a tongue, but not a tongue. A
very
tentacle.
Cylindrical and thin. They don't have like the girthiness of a tentacle.
Yeah, like that. Very nasty, gross. Windows ends up sprinting outside to go grab
Mac and
McCready and Fuchs.
Yep.
They go back in, and what's his name? Fuck, I'm so bad with the names in this one.
What do you look like? Clark? Blair?
No, the guy who got absorbed. Bennings is gone.
Oh, that's right.
They go in and he's gone, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
They sound the alarm, get everyone going.
They sound the alarm, get everyone going, and they actually see him
out. He's like wandering
running outside.
Yeah,
and they go outside and catch him, and he falls to his knees, and they go up to him, and it's Bennings, but with fucked up
salad finger hands,
alien claw hands, and they're like, "Holy shit!" Like, it was so close to being fucking like fully one of us. They end up torturing. Yeah. Fucking McCready sets it on fire right there. God, again, because they don't use like special effect, like it's just all practical effects, so it's all very well done for the most part. I mean, obviously the puppets look like puppets, but it's the fucking 80s. Like,
yeah, no, and I feel like all of the effects in the 80s were like puppets, because you also have like the Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, and I feel like puppets were super big, and I am here for it.
Star Wars.
And Star Wars, yeah. Like, puppets were used a lot, and I really wish they'd bring them back. I feel like the movement you can get from puppets, and then like the dimension you can also get from them, because I feel like when CGI brings me out of a movie, it's because it's too crisp for the location it should be in. And if you just like used a puppet and maybe did some CGI on top of the puppet, it would look a lot better.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Gary is like useless, and for the rest of
security officer, not security officer, kind of, right? He's kind of like the
Gary.
Yeah,
is the captain.
Oh, I guess he is the captain. I never thought of him as the captain because he's a fucking little bitch.
Yeah, he's fucking useless, but he is technically in charge of this base camp. He's fucking useless. McCready takes charge, and then they form like a snow barricade and take all forms of the things, the kennel thing, the Norwegian thing, and now Bennings thing, put it in a hole, fucking douse it in kerosene and oil and whatever they can find.
They take some of those drums I mentioned earlier and just fucking pour into like a pit. They also take like snow truck and push like a big wall of snow up to like make like a little barrier so that they could make a fucking pit to just like burn all this shit in.
Yeah, and McCready just fucking burns it, and he's wearing safety goggles. And that's my other thing is like from this point forward, instead of like having snow goggles or like anything like that, they're wearing safety goggles, like the big plastic ones you wear in science class.
But I think they were only wearing the snow goggles during the day to like prevent from snow blindness.
Yeah, but they also like help with like getting stuff in your eye, and I like those things fog up so bad for me that I would not be wearing them outside. Like your body temp, that's gonna heat that shit up. Like those glasses are not good for
1000%.
Those aren't very good snow goggles to keep snow out of your eyes.
Yeah, and we're like, these are the type of goggles that you wore in your high school science class. So like, you know what we're talking about.
With the black strap that keeps them on your head. Like, so again, I just have gripes about the wardrobe choices for this.
Yeah.
I also have, like, they just found freaking... McCready was just told that Blair believes those cells were still alive after they burned them, and they just continue to burn things.
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know if it was, I think it was not necessarily that the cells that were burnt were still alive. I think it was like the cells that were attached to something that was supposed to be dead.
Were still alive?
Were still moving, if that makes, like,
No, that makes sense.
Because I don't remember in my brain linking the two, if that makes sense.
I think I linked it because, like, when I picture the dead things, they're all the ones that are burned up.
Yes.
And so, like, in my head, I was like, okay, so the burning doesn't work.
But, like, the first sample that they initially brought back...
The Norwegian thing was dead. It was burned.
Oh, yeah, I guess it was dead.
The only version of... No, because they burned Kennel Thing. They burn every single thing they come across.
But I think it was the fact that, like, someone else... Who was taken besides the guy that just got taken? The guy that, like... Knowles found his trousers. Who was that?
We don't know.
But like, so he was around. So like, or I guess that doesn't matter as far as the argument for. I don't fucking know. My brain is shutting down.
No, I understand what you're saying. That like, because what you're saying makes sense for what we find out later. but every single sample they've had has been burned, which is weird. But we'll touch back on this later, because I have an argument for your point, actually, later. Mm-hmm. So you are correct. I think you're right. I just connected it because every sample they have is dead. But that doesn't mean every sample they have was burned.
Yeah.
No one can find Blair at this point.
Yeah.
They go wandering around and they're like, where is everyone? No one can find Blair. Max sees someone scavenging around under a like tarp thing.
It's the I think it was
it's their helicopter. It was just covered with
yes,
tarp.
it was their helicopter.
Yeah.
I think they just covered it with the tarp because of like the storm or whatever that was coming.
To kind of keep, because copters are pretty open and that kind of stuff.
They see someone like hop off the fucking side and like sprint inside. And so McCready goes in
and investigates the helicopter, and it's like destroyed. Like someone like destroyed. I can't. What's the word? Like ripped up a bunch of stuff. Like took pieces away from.
Oh God, I had the perfect word for it, and it just left my fucking head.
I almost said like scavenged it, but that wasn't really it either.
I mean, honestly, that works. Like scavenged for parts ish. Like it looks like it was just. Like things have been pulled out of their, like the dials have been pulled out of their sockets, half of them, and then like there's just shit missing.
Yeah,
like it's
not
just
like
all...
it's been smashed up. It's been
no, it's not like someone took an axe to the panel to prevent anyone from leaving. It's like someone's just been ripping it apart.
Yeah, to
try and like get other pieces within.
And as he's doing that, he hears a gunshot from inside. Mm-hmm. Runs inside, and Blair is having the biggest bitch fit ever in the control room, where he's taking, is it an axe?
Yes.
An axe to the radio, to all of their comm systems, and,
the control panels on the wall.
Fucking anything and everything that could connect them to the outside world, he is destroying, bitching about how no one's gonna leave and no one's gonna come and all this stuff. And it shows this shot of Windows, who's like cowering in the corner because it looks like he beat him over the head. He's like bleeding from the corner, and homie's like can barely stand. Child comes back. Max sends Childs to go look at the tractor, the other snow truck, to see if Blair got to that as well, because they're assuming Blair destroyed the copter. Yeah. He comes back and it's destroyed. Like, he got to the tractor. Most of it's done. He also killed the other dogs.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
The rest of the dogs are dead. And so Clark books it to go check on the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, he goes up and he sees one of the dogs, at least, with, what was it? Something in his neck.
I don't remember.
But, yeah.
So Clark is, sobbing with the dead dog. Again, my notes are, what a useless captain. He does fuck all.
Yeah.
Blair shoots Childs because they come up with a plan to ambush Blair.
So Childs tries to go distract him while they go around a different way with a table
that they're gonna body slam him with. Yeah. He shoots it.
Childs goes into the doorway and he's like, "You wouldn't kill you wouldn't hurt me. I'm your friend." And then Blair turns around and immediately shoots him, and it's like, "I fucking would." Don't test me.
He's got a revolver. He shoots all of his shots left in that gun at Childs, and then throws the gun at Childs.
It hits the wall, and then all of a sudden, from the right, McCready busts in with the table, using it as a shield, and slams Blair against the wall. And then they have the most cartoony punching sound as McCready hits him with the 1-2, and Blair goes "Arr!" and then falls to the ground.
Dude, okay, and the thing is Blair is old. Blair, Copper, and probably Gary are the oldest on this team. And it takes 3 guys to subdue Blair. It takes them a hot second to subdue him and get him down.
But is it Blair?
Blair.
But is it Blair?
Oh, is it Blair? Who knows? Do we know? Windows tries to get up and finally fully just passes out. He almost looks dead, the way he passes out.
Yeah, they definitely do the old-fashioned passing out thing where when they fall back and slump, at the end of their slump, they look upwards.
Yeah, their eyes are open.
But their eyes are open? So they look up they're
It's weird.
I
thought he died. It looked more like a dead shot than he has a concussion and is knocked out.
Mans is just a little traumatized.
They decide to lock Blair in the tool shed, and someone's like, "Why don't you lock him in his tower?" And he's like, "I ain't locking him in my spot. No, I don't want to share that shit with him." Yeah. They get him out there. Someone shoots him up with morphine. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Copper, the doc, shoots him up with morphine, and he's like, why are you sticking me out here? Like, it's cold. Like, I don't want to be out here. You know, like, why don't you trust me? And Mac is like, how about you have some faith in the Lord? And leaves him.
Yeah.
But right before he leaves, Blair's like, watch Clark. He was left alone with the dog or something. Like,
yeah, he says something along those lines, like, keep an eye on Clark or something like that. And then, yeah, McCready takes a shot and says his one line about the Lord and then leaves.
They try to come up with a plan on how to figure out who an imposter is with like a blood test, because if I was understanding correctly, if you mix the blood of the thing with blood of a non-infected person, it will attack it. But if you mix the thing's blood with someone who is already infected, it would not react.
Yeah.
I think is what they were trying to come up with.
And if it doesn't react, then that means they're infected.
Either that, or they were trying to come up with, like, have you ever done R positive, R negative testing with your blood? This is a really weird question.
Actually, maybe not with my blood. I might have done a tiny bit of that.
So when I was studying for my degree in one of our chemistry classes, we were dealing with blood samples, and you can add things to RH and R positive to it'll change it, and it shows you what it is. And so I wonder if they were trying to come up with like that kind of testing to like show what enzymes or whatever are in the thing's blood. Either it was one of those two options of like it was supposed to react with the thing's blood.
Yeah.
And when they go in to get the blood has already been, it was kept in like a locked fridge and it's been drained and emptied and there's like no blood left.
Yeah. They're all like, what the fuck?
This was going to be my point for you of they had quote unquote living samples that weren't burned because they had the blood they drained. So I guess he could have been testing the blood when he saw cells still moving.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea. But yeah, so they end up getting into an argument because they're like, well, who the fuck can even like get into this cabinet with all this blood? And the doc's like, well, I can only get the key from the captain. And the captain's like, well, I didn't give you the key. And the doc's like, yeah, I didn't fucking go in here. And so, like, everyone's freaking out because, like...
They all start turning on each other.
Among Us.
And then they go to they're like, it must be the captain. The captain's like, well, someone could have lifted it off of me. And they just...
Meanwhile, Windows silently slips out and, like, runs down the hall. He ends up running to this fucking glass case full of weapons.
It's locked, so he breaks the glass.
Yeah, and he reaches in and grabs a shotgun and then starts to grab a box of shells. And then Gary and all of them come around and Gary points his revolver at him and is like, put the fucking gun down. Windows is like, fucking, why should I? Like,
yeah.
You know, it's like...
McCready ends up being able to calm him down, and like I don't remember exactly what he says, but he gets everyone to calm down. He is also convinced Gary is the thing, though. Like he does not trust Gary at all. Gary says, okay, like you guys don't trust me to be in charge, I'll put Norris in charge, everyone will trust him. And Norris is like, with all due respect, fuck that. I don't want to be damn in charge. You know, Gary had set the gun down. Childs goes for the gun. And everyone's like, fuck you, dude. You are too hot-headed. You are not going to be in charge. Yeah. Mac ends up grabbing it. Childs goes for the gun. Clark pulls his knife out and is like, bitch, what? Like, don't even fuck with it. Mac takes the gun. And after humble bragging about, we need someone who's more even-tempered, puts himself in charge. They then take all of the leftover blood
bags.
Thank you.
They go put it into a little pile
and
outside,
burn them. Yeah, I called them blood sacks, and I was like, that's not the correct term for what those are.
Yeah.
Oh, Mac has Doc, Gary, and Clark move away from everyone else.
Yes, that's right.
Norris and Childs are ordered to tie them up in the rec room, and then Mac records a tape while all of that is happening, kind of leaving evidence for whoever comes next of like, hey, like, you know, shit be going down. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, no one trusts anybody. Oh, he says he has the long johns and is like, I think they shred your clothes when they take over you. No one trusts anyone anymore. There's no trust. And they're all really tired. He then clicks the tape and then records over it and re-records the last chunk where it says no one trusts anybody. Says something else instead. I didn't write down what he says, but he like takes that back and doesn't want that in the tape.
Yeah.
Fuchs says everyone should start making their own meal and only eat out of cans because he thinks that a one drop anything of the thing could infect you, so everyone needs to do their own shit. Fuchs is in the lab. Mac leaves him to his thing, and the power goes out.
That's right.
Fuchs gets jump scared by something, and he's like, who the fuck is here? And you don't really get to see what it is.
Yeah, at the door to the hallway. He like walks up to the door, and like out in the hallway you just see like a big shadow move past him. He's like, who's there? And nothing.
Yeah, so he goes outside to investigate and finds McCready's jacket shredded. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We then switch back to Mac's point of view. He says a fuse went out in the lab, and Fuchs has been by himself for like an hour. Has anyone seen him? Because they can't find him.
Yeah.
They then separate into different parties to look for Fuchs. Mac goes in to look on Blair. This is when it happens. Max and Knowles, I believe, goes to check in on Blair. He instead of going into the tool shed, he opens the little window.
Yeah.
And Blair's just like sitting there at a table eating, and there's a fucking noose right in front of him. And he's like, I would really like to go inside now. I'm much more calm now. I'm okay. I'm not a danger to anybody.
I'm much better now. You can let me back in. And I'm sitting there going, that sounds very convincing for someone who doesn't want to be taken as the imposter.
Yeah, it's not. He's
just very like, I'm so much better. Like, you can like, I'm fine. Trust me. Like,
I would really like to go inside now. Yeah, please. I'm so fine. And it's just like, yeah, bitch, that makes me trust you even fucking less.
McCready's just like, I'll think about it. Then he just fucking closes the window. As they're starting to walk back, though, they're like gonna go walk back inside.
Oh, they find the burned body.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they find Fuchs, his burned body. Well, they discern that by Mac picks up his glasses.
He's like, well, that's Fuchs.
It's like, well, shit.
And then they debate on, like, did he try to burn it? Did he accidentally burn himself? And then they kind of settle on he burned himself to not get infected by the thing. He just, like, decided to kill himself instead.
Yeah.
This is when
Mac is like, well, I'm going to go up to my cabin. And they're like, why? And he's like, because I did not leave my light on when I left last night.
Yeah, so...
And it looks up, and you see that there's a light on in his cabin, and you're like, oh, that's fucking eerie. That's
when
right.
Mac sent them all out into the groups, he's like, we meet back here in an hour, no exceptions.
Yeah.
And so while Mac and Knowles goes to check on his little room, everyone else is inside, and they're like, where the fuck are they? And I think it's Childs who's like, it's 45 minutes, we better start barricading shit up. Like, we need to cover things up. Norris is kind of keeping watch outside, like he's looking to an exterior window, and he watches as Knowles comes like running from the tower. They let him in, and he's like, it's McCready, like I found his ripped up jacket in his fireplace, like he was trying to hide it from me. I don't think he saw it, like fucking don't let him in. And so they start like bitching back and forth, kind of fighting about things, and then the handle on the door starts turning and not opening, and Palmer's like, let him in, let's fucking kill it. Like everyone has a different thing. They're like, no, let him freeze to death outside, no, let's kill it now.
And they're debating like, oh, but what if it is McCready? And they're like, but what if it fucking isn't? Like, it's just this whole debate, everyone's panicking.
And as they're fighting, there's shattered glass from the storeroom, and Mac is made his way into the place, and they're like, it's definitely not him, no one could have made it through without a light, like it's too dark, blah blah blah. And he's holding like a whole collection of TNT, and he's like, if y'all come near me, I'm gonna blow this place fuck up. He
has it's one of the fucking flamethrowers, isn't it?
Yeah, because him and Knowles went out with flamethrowers.
Yeah.
So he has the TNT in one hand and the flamethrower pointed at it in another. The flamethrower's not on, but like one click and he can blow them all up. So he makes everyone else drop their flamethrowers. Norris is being super weird in the corner. He's like breathing heavy. Kind of seems like he might be having an asthma attack.
Yeah.
Mac orders Palmer to get the doc and the others, and then, fucking check on Norris. Why is he being so weird? As well as like he wants to keep everyone in the same room so no one's out of his sight.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not letting any one of you fuckers out of my sight.
Norris like faints or like does something weird, and they're like, oh my god, like we need to defibrillate him. Like I was like, oh my god, he's had a heart attack, like something happened. And so they all go into the fucking medical ward they have, and they have him, and who is it? The doc is like, I need the defibrillator.
Yeah, Windows brings the defibrillator over and starts defibrillating his chest. And on the, third go?
Second?
second go.
Yeah.
He goes to put the things back on his chest, but his chest opens up into a giant mouth, and his hands go into it, and it fucking
Just
chomps,
snaps.
and both of his arms come off, or I guess both of his forearms come off.
Yep.
Along with his hands, and there's screaming and blood, and this fucking thing is like starting to like tentacles and shit. This thing is fucking wild.
Yeah, so this like it's like if a sandworm had a face, that just like kind of grows out of the belly, and I think it's supposed to be Norris's face. As it turns around, Mac flames it with the flamethrower.
Like screams,
And the head is like slowly ripping itself off from the body as all of this is happening.
Norris's head,
Yeah.
like his quote unquote his head, is like stretching farther and farther off of his body, and then like it eventually like sags off the table and like keeps going
It
all
like
the way
shoots
down.
a tentacle from its mouth.
Yeah, it like falls off of like it detaches from its neck and like falls onto the ground, and then the head like shoots a tentacle out of its mouth, and it grabs onto a nearby chair. It starts like pulling itself along, like fucking rocking itself and like using its tongue to like move.
And it hides itself enough that no one sees it for a hot second while they're like checking on the Norris body,
Yeah.
Norris thing body, and they're like they're putting out the fire and like making sure everything's good.
Then you see the head sprout 6 legs like a spider.
It's so gross.
3 out either side, and it fucking you see it crawl out of the room behind McCready, and then all of a sudden
gets like those freaking like snail eyes though. It gets
yeah,
like
it grows these like snail eyes too that peek out of it. It's
Yeah.
fucking gross because
It's
this
so
is
weird.
this is just what's his name's head.
Norris's head.
Norris's head. So it's like
Evolving exponentially fast from
Yeah.
just a fucking head.
what's his name? The stoner.
Palmer catches it.
Palmer turns
He's
around.
like, "Are you fucking
He's
kidding
like, "Are you
me?"
fucking kidding me?" And McCready turns around and torches the fucking thing as it's out in the hallway. Sets it, like, burns it, and it's, like, spinning around in circles, like, doing a little dance as it's fucking burning to death. It's really disturbing.
It's wild. Then Mac comes up with a plan of how to check everyone's blood. Clark ends up agreeing with him, but Childs is not for that shit. Mac says, "I'll kill you if you don't." And Childs is like, "You fucking won't." McCready points his gun at him, and he's like, "Fucking try it."
And then Clark pulls out his knife because he's like, "Oh, nuh-uh, like, I ain't taking this shit." Clark lunges at McCready, and McCready turns around and just pops him in the fucking forehead.
Yep.
Just boom, right there. So Childs was like, "Oh, you're not playing." Okay. Okay. Yeah. Very just like, holy shit.
The
like,
reflexes on that.
well, and this is how, like, he is being pushed to the edge, McCready.
Yes.
He's like, I mean, we failed to mention, but when he is in the storeroom after coming inside from being outside, he's almost purple because he's like almost frozen to death because he didn't have the facial gear. And like, so he was already fighting for his survival just to get into the fucking place. So he's pissed off with all these guys. Then fucking Norris just, that happens.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. So yeah, honestly, I'd break a little too.
No, I feel like I do love the fact that like their beards get all of the ice in it and it just like gets
Yes,
snow caked. And
100%.
I love that part so much.
So McCready, he shoots Clark in the head. They end up getting everyone's blood.
Yeah, so he orders, I think, windows
Yeah, so you
to
see
tie up. You tie up the dead bodies first, and then he ties up everyone else, and he gets windows to cut. I believe it's Palmer's finger first, then his own, and then McCready does his own. And the amount of blood that is in those petri dishes, those cuts on the thumb, they take a scalpel to their fucking thumbs, and it's so goddamn deep.
Windows.
Oh my god.
Windows takes a scalpel so deep to his thumb. And I'm like, why? You just need a little bit of blood.
You could have done with like 3 drops and would have been okay, but the depth of those cuts, like I feel like they would have needed fucking stitches after the fact.
Yeah.
It was so much blood in those petri dishes.
And they use a scalpel. So like, you see, like, between using a scalpel and like visualizing the pressure being applied to it on the skin, like that makes your brain just go, fuck no.
Yeah, and the fact that like, did you catch it? Like between cutting Palmer's and cutting his own thumb, he just wipes it on his pants.
I mean, I guess there are bigger things to worry about right now.
But if you can get infected from the smallest drop, like if Palmer was infected, you're just going to cut your own finger with the same infected blade.
You know, they may be scientists, but they may not be scientists.
Windows is just the radio guy. He's their comms guy. Like
yeah, that's also fair.
So I don't know, that part. I was just like, wow, damn, dude.
So they end up filling petri dishes with all of their blood, and then meanwhile McCready's like taking a knife to the end of like some wiring, and he's like scraping off the plastic part and exposing just the copper wire.
All the while explaining what his plan is, which is he believes that because of the head falling off, each part of the body is a whole, and it will try to protect itself. So his theory is that if you try to touch the blood with a heated up iron, the blood will jump away or try to defend itself. So that's his plan.
Yeah. So he heats up the copper rod with the flamethrower, and the first one he does is Windows. He touches the copper into it, and
I thought it was Palmer first.
No, it was Windows first.
Is it because Windows isn't tied up? Yeah. It makes sense to do him first.
He puts the copper wire in, and it just sizzles, and then you see Windows, like his face, he like kind of relaxes a little bit, and then
Mac does his own next.
And he's like, just to fucking show you fools, like...
And then I think it's Child at this point is like, well, this is a crock of shit. Like, this actually doesn't work. He then does it on Doc. Doc's blood doesn't do it. Mm-hmm. And then he does it on Clark's, and Child's claps back again and is like, that just makes you a fucking murderer, doesn't it? Because Clark's blood doesn't jump either.
He's like, I guess so. I don't even think he says that, but he's just very, like...
He's solemn about it. Like,
he's like, whatever.
He doesn't look happy that he killed Clark, but he's just like... Fuck, like I think at this point he's wondering whether or not his theory is right, because that's so many people in a row that it hasn't done anything with until we get to Palmer's, which jumps out of the petri dish and like it's trying to escape.
Explodes out of it, yeah. And then all of a sudden Palmer starts shaking and fucking freaking out and spazzing, and it like cuts to Child's freaking out, and then it cuts back to him, but it's like fucked up and worse.
Yeah.
And like
it just keeps getting worse and worse.
It just keeps getting worse and worse, and they're freaking out on the couch. McCready's like trying to get the fucking flamethrower to work, but it's like...
It's malfunctioning. I don't know if it's not starting, if like the starter part of like the click to make it go isn't working.
I don't know. But
something isn't working.
This thing is growing and screaming. It eventually like pulls a fucking like... Not Exorcist, but like it fucking slams up into the ceiling. Oh gosh, I think
it kills Windows. It like
Windows. So like was it Windows that like gets up and then, or he's like standing there and then it falls from the ceiling and like grabs him, right?
I think so, yeah, because Windows goes and grabs a flamethrower to try and like get him, and he can't because of whatever. And so it just like engulfs Windows like super fucking fast.
Yeah, it eats him about halfway, and there's a couple really funny moments of like fake ass noodle legs just like flailing around through the air, and like him screaming even though like his whole upper half has been eaten already, which is like
sure,
whatever.
Why not?
But yeah, I mean, he like hits a fucking lamp with his legs and shit. Like, it's crazy.
It's good.
It's definitely like this is where Among Us got that animation of like the body opening up halfway and just like fucking eating someone. Like, this is yeah.
And if we weren't clear with mentioning Among Us earlier, Among Us apparently is playing homage to the thing.
Yeah.
At least that's what the wiki says.
So, and it makes sense, right? Because this is like, they're all playing the ultimate game of Among Us, except one of them, you know.
Except instead of just being one of them, it could be all of them.
Yeah, instead of just being one or two imposters, it's multiplying. So
they end up getting the flamethrower to work and freaking light up Palmer, who drops from the ceiling and runs outside and then like just face plants into the snow, and then Mac throws a piece of TNT at him and blows him up.
Yeah, into pieces, like evaporates. It's pretty fucking sick.
Half of Windows is still in the rec room, and it's starting to reform.
Yeah.
So Mac has to rush back inside to kill him.
Well,
with the
yeah, it's funny because Childs and Gary are both on the couch still, and they're both freaking out because they're still tied up, and there's this Windows thing. In the corner, like half fucking like trying to get its shit together. And they're like, fucking kill it, like kill it. And so McCready comes in and sets that one on fire. Burns the whole fucking thing.
Which, like, sets half of the room on fire, but the next scene, the fire's put out, I guess.
Yeah, the next scene, it's Mac testing the rest of their blood.
Yeah, Nulls is cleared next, Childs is then cleared.
And then Gary's sitting there losing his shit because he's like, I don't want to spend the rest of this winter tied to a fucking couch.
And everyone is surprised when his blood gets cleared. They're like, oh,
yeah,
you're clean. Nice.
Yep.
They then go to Blair to pull him and get his blood to test him next.
And he's gone.
But yeah, the tool shed door is open with no Blair in sight. They end up walking inside, and it's either Childs or McCready, I can't remember who, steps on the panels and realize that it's like a hollow thing, that there's something beneath it. And there's just a full-ass tunnel under the tool shed.
Yeah.
Just, what the fuck? How long has Blair been out here by himself?
Yeah. They follow it into this like little cave, and it's like a little workshop with what appears to be a miniature looking flying saucer.
Yeah, a mini
And
version
they're
of the
like-
one we've seen.
And Mac is like, well, now I know where the helicopter parts went. Because it's just a mishmash of all of these different parts put together to like resemble this saucer of sorts.
Which is like, he just stole the parts like today.
Yeah.
How are the parts already in the tool shed? I have questions about the timeline.
I think it's a lot of stuff that happens over. Well, yeah. Is it like, is
Is
this happening over the course of like 2 days? Because
'cause-
like, it's just, I mean, it could just be dark for a while.
Mac says that they have 6 hours until a storm comes in. So there's supposed to
right.
be a really big storm. So I don't know whether or not this happens within 6 hours or if this is the storm happening and all of this is happening during the storm. But it all happens within like from the Norwegian thing to, I think, Benning's thing. I think that was like maybe a day.
Yeah.
So like this is all happening. Like they haven't slept really since they found out like what this thing can do.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is like maybe day 2, max day 3 of this whole situation happening.
Yeah. No,
So-
this thing's been very busy.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe because it's like an alien, it can just like dig that fast. But then I guess like he was in the tool shed. But like, were all the parts left in the tool? I don't know. It's weird consistency here.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it wasn't Childs because Childs is inside. We get a cut of the base, and the door is wide open with no one inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Nulls clocks Child right outside before the power goes out. And you're just like, oh, fuck. Mm-hmm. Max says it's the thing's plan to refreeze itself because it can survive in freezing temperatures, and that it's probably just going to wait it out until the rescue party comes.
Yeah.
And so he's like, we're going to have to burn the entire place to the fucking ground.
Yep. They stock up with dynamite and they start fucking. Well, they take a bunch of like Molotovs essentially and just start hucking them into fucking rooms and shit.
Yeah, like Molotovs or grenades, whatever. They have a lot of fucking explosives. And so they get this whole plan together, and Mac is like, we're not going to get out of here alive. So yeah, they just go room by room, like flamethrowing shit and like throwing Molotov cocktails or whatever.
Explosions coming out of every single room
Just
because they just keep a lot of explosives in every single room in that facility, apparently.
Yeah, they go down like a hallway, and it's like 5 rooms in a row that they explode, and they're like, down to the generator room. Oh, they did blow up the craft, I forgot. Before they start blowing up the base, they blow up the craft under the tool shed.
They fucking light some dynamite and roll it down the hole, and it like fucking rolls perfectly underneath the
little ship.
the little spacecraft, and it fucking pop, boom.
Yeah, they also crash one of the tractor truck things into the base and then split open the gas tank on it and light that on fire too.
Yeah, that's right. They do just fucking, they go like balls to the wall.
Yeah, then they go into the generator room, which is kind of like a weird basement. It's like dripping water from all of the explosions happening upstairs. And I think is it Gary or Nulls who goes over and they're like, the generator's gone. And Mac is like,
It's
well,
Gary.
is it Gary? And Mac is like, fix it. And he's like, no, bitch, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, it does not exist, is not here, gone.
It is gone. Yeah.
Then they talk about how like it'll only be a few hours then before temperatures are below what they can withstand.
Yeah.
And Mac is like, Like, we're gonna blow this place up right here and now, and like that's it. Like, we're gonna bring it into the ice.
Yeah.
Gary ends up like they end up stringing a bunch of dynamite down with like the old school like push detonator type thing, and so
Yeah.
Nulls is on one side, Gary's on the other, and Mac is in the center, like
They're in
lining
this,
it all
like,
up.
They're in the like is it a basement?
Yeah, it's
like
the basement generator area, but it's like tunnels. It's really weird.
It's like ice tunnels, like you're on the fucking planet Hoth.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
weird. But it's cool. Like, I like the aesthetic. I just don't think... I think an expedition would not make the basement an ice cave. Because, like, there's, like, tables that are covered in ice and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of, like, barrels and, like, storage shit down here, too, and I feel like that's just weird. Like, it's...
I don't know. It's
don't
definitely, like...
80s logic.
Before you had the internet, you just had to fucking come up with a place for your expeditioners to exist out in Antarctica. And they had a basement for storage.
Yeah, that just had a bunch of different rooms
Yeah.
that wouldn't take that long at all to carve out of ice.
Just makes sense, you know?
Yeah, that's probably perfectly fine.
So, yeah, the Nulls ends up stringing some TNT one way while Gary does the opposite way, and Mac is in the middle, like with the plunger.
Gary gets caught by Blair thing, which like shoves his hand into his face and then like fuses together.
Yeah, he like... his fingers like fuse into his face, and like it's weird. It's
Yeah, like his whole face kind of gets...
Did you ever see the newest Deadpool versus Wolverine?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's so good. But there's someone in that movie that does that.
Oh.
And like they phase their hand through someone's face and then like fucking...
Ooh.
Yeah, it's wild.
Damn,
That's
cool.
the only thing I could think of. But yeah. So that happens, and then it cuts to Nulls
Noticing that Gary's gone,
and fucking Max just sitting there doing his thing. So Nulls goes over in that direction, and you don't even see it. He goes
just
over into
dips.
that direction, and then you don't hear anything. And before you know it, McCready's like, "Hello? What the fuck?" He like stands up and looks around. Yeah.
Notice it's gone, and he lights up. Did he light up one of the TNTs, or like he does something and
He
looks down
lights
the way?
up a piece of TNT because he doesn't hear anything. And he just like gets this feeling. So yeah, he lights up a piece, and I think he's going to throw it towards where Gary was and where Nulls went. He ends up, as if there was TNT strung underneath the ground, you see this like wave of dirt being pushed up, and like it's fucking coming towards McCready at like super fast pace.
I thought of like Tremors or like
Yes. Oh yeah, dude.
Incredibles with the Underminer.
Yes.
Where just like something is obviously digging its way straight towards you right underground.
And it fucking gets to him and like launches him into the wall, and he falls and drops the dynamite, which thank God it has a
long
ass fuse.
And this version of the thing grabs the detonator too.
Yes, and it literally, you see a fucking tentacle like come out of the ground, and it fucking reaches over and grabs the plunger, the detonator, and pulls it underground, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like the thing is smart, and at this point I'm like, it's turning into like an Eldritch horror. It's got human forms. It's got human forms. It's got human bits on it. It's got human faces and bits, and then it's got like a dog head coming out of it now, and it's just becoming this Eldritch horror thing.
Yeah, it's this giant amalgamation, and yeah, you literally see the dog head like come out of one side of it with these fucked up little arms, and they're just like wave, like it's so fucked up and weird.
It's also so like slimy looking. It's so
it's
wet.
So gross. It's so slimy.
Mac ends up being able to grab the TNT, which he throws at it, which then triggers a train reaction of everything else being exploded.
Yep.
He somehow survives.
Yeah, we see this explosion, and then you get a cut to like the inside of like, or you just see like, you know, this wall is missing, and you can see to the outside, and you can see burning in the distance, and then like...
Do we get an outside shot of the entire explosion? I can't remember.
Yeah, you see the whole fucking thing.
Just like, yeah, it like fucking crumbles down.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty big
It
explosion.
explodes.
Michael Bay style explosion.
Yeah, 100%. But then, yeah, you see McCready walk in from the right side of the frame, and then he like comes into where the camera was positioned in this little like half
alcovey
area. Room. But it's clearly like, it's not a room because there's not really much walls left. It's pretty much like half outside.
And he's got like a bottle of Jameson or something.
He's got a bottle of liquor, and he fucking walks over and he sits down, and then Childs walks up.
Yeah, Childs appears from fucking nowhere and says that he was outside. He saw he saw someone outside by something, and he went to go check it out, and that's how he survived, and now he's back, and they're like, how do I know you're not the thing? How do I know you're not the thing? And neither trust each other, and they're like, well,
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what
we
happens.
can just wait here for a while. And he, like, Mac gives them the bottle, and they take a swig from it and share like a weird ass laugh, and then they just kind of lean against the ice or whatever's near them, and that's how it ends.
Yep, then we get a shot of like the whole place burning down, and then it ends, and you're like, oh my god, holy shit. Yeah, this movie is just
it's a very straightforward and this is like, again, we just did The Descent, another movie where it has like a bittersweet ending of like
100%.
Depending for this one, right, like everyone dies and the thing apparently is also dead as far as we know. Those bittersweet ones, another bittersweet ending. Have you seen Oculus?
Oh, is that the one with the mirror?
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen Oculus. That one, I do remember that one being bittersweet. I remember being like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know. I remember that, like, I remember at a certain point I was just like, this poor fucking girl. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, I love Oculus. I think it's a really good movie.
We could definitely do an episode on it.
Yeah, I would love to do Oculus one day. But it's just like those bittersweet endings are always, I feel like, hit harsher with horror movies because you're, what did we talk about? Was that with Einsman? Where he was like, I want to lead you into the darkness and leave you there. Or like lead you into the forest. And I think that's what it was.
Was it?
Yeah, because like you don't get, with that one, he just takes you out there and you don't get a good ending. I'm pretty sure that's right. What the director was. He's like, I just want to take you somewhere and leave you there. And bittersweet horror movies are like that, right? Like you get taken into the chaos and never get like let out. You're just there with the ending.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
It's one of those things where it's 50-50. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm happy for the final ending or like the final girl to escape. But sometimes it just like hits harder when you don't get to leave the tragedy. Yeah,
because it's like, okay, well, then what was scary about it? She gets to go back to her normal life. Well, not normal, but...
Yeah, we always talk about the psychology about how fucked up they are when they go back to their normal life.
There are certain movies where I think it's definitely more bittersweet in some horror movies when they escape because of that. Like, they get out of something so traumatic and lose everyone around them so that, like, they do get out, but that doesn't fucking matter because, like... They lost everyone and everything, and like,
exactly, like
their psyche is broken, and they're gonna have to live in a mental institution for the rest of their lives. So, like,
are they really?
Is it a happy ending?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so. That's in and of itself its own hell.
Yeah. So I think for this one, this ending is probably the best ending that could have happened because otherwise you run into like a world domination situation where like the entire world is just going to be the thing. It's going to turn into like a zombie type movie where you don't know who's who. And I kind of like this better where it's kind of isolated. And
it would be like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
That movie freaked me out when I was younger. Movie. Just like the fucking, at the end when they're all just like, oof, no thanks. Anyways, thanks for listening. This is a great movie. Even though it's got all those continuity errors and some of it just doesn't quite make sense, it's still a classic that I think...
It's a good classic, too. Like, the dialogue is a little trashy, but, like, it's an 80s movie. And it's one of those ones where I don't feel worse after watching it. Like, I can just, like, sit down and watch this movie, where some movies I'm like, the fuck is... Like, I get so angry with everything about the movie because of just, like, how poor it was or whatever. And it's just like, no, this is, like, just a good movie.
This is a ride. It's just a ride. Also, like, can't go wrong with Kurt Russell.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and threads at No Cell Service Pod. Until next time.